2019, so this was fresh after the second, kind of like the initial poster that was posted in June. So this was before the official trailer came out. This is a great way to get fans excited for it. They had photo op opportunities, which is seen in the bottom photo. So they had props from the film, kind of like makeshift props that would have been seen on the animation that people could take pictures with. There was also cast and crew panels, Q&A. They kind of talked about the songs in there and their excitement for the film and just kind of the journey. And what I did find interesting was that they actually had an interactive experience they could do with Snapchat using one of their QR codes. Now, Snapchat is technically a niche market since it's not a big social media following such as like Instagram or Twitter. So being able to use Snapchat, Disney did use a different strategy, I guess, and a different way to kind of connect with different audience members. Probably younger kids that were there that love using Snapchat, or people that use that as their way of communication with other people. So that was definitely a different thing that they did, which isn't normally seen for Disney. They also marketed towards a different audience, which was more of a musical and kind of like artist fan interaction with a soundtrack teaser. So they had features with Casey Musgraves, Panic at the Disco, and Weezer. Now, the Panic at the Disco cover was highly buzzed about on social media. A lot of people love Brendan Urie and that band, so having them cover a Disney song is always great. It doesn't hurt to have that kind of fan interaction. That song was released on November 4th, so it's just about 3 weeks before the film actually came out, and the full soundtrack was released a week before the film was released, so that gave fans a great time to spend a week learning the songs and listening to them before they got to see them on the screen. Again, this was also a really great way for a larger audience to be created through music and interest in those specific artists. So overall, looking at the marketing campaign, we see that Instagram obviously was their main thoroughfare for any interactions. They had over 1 million hashtags, a lot of shares, a lot of people, clicking and getting, those shares out there for them. We saw with, having over 30 posts, obviously that's going to be where their major foot traffic is going to be. On Twitter, it was much less. They only had about 45,000 retweets total between their trailers and their main posting, so it was far less, mostly because their audience is a younger audience, which wouldn't be on Twitter. YouTube, obviously, with all 3 of their trailers combined, they had a teaser and then 2 official trailers, and those combined a total of 175 million views. Now, what I wanted to do was look at the Rotten Tomatoes ratings, because I sometimes find that, if you're marketing towards an audience, they have a great, rating system for that, but then critics may not agree. So that's exactly what happened here with Frozen. They knew exactly how to market to their exact audience, and they got 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, but then critics only gave it about a 77%, so there was a little bit of a dip in those ratings, but they obviously utilized, the biggest ways that they could, which was through Instagram, through their trailers, things that people could interact with that was a little more tangible. People love being able to see films and understand, the plot before that. They want to see, posters and the characters, and with it being such a cult following through Walt Disney Studios, they knew exactly how to market in the proper way for their audience. So going from Frozen into Uncut Gems, we can just take a look at their little sub-website that they have on A24. It's not too big, honestly. A24 does a kind of sub-site for all of their films. So you kind of just get a breakdown of the directors and the actors in it, as well as, again, a synopsis of it. Related films, which I think is really great. So if you're interested in that film, there's going to be another just like it. And they also have subcategories to go to their social media. Going back to this, their Instagram and Twitter both teased the first photo, which was on July 23rd. Didn't receive too great of a buzz on Instagram. Obviously, A24 is a much smaller studio, so their Instagram has a much smaller following. However, on Twitter, though, they do really great. So the initial teaser for it, they had a great amount of retweets and likes, even through Adam Sandler, who is the main character. With him retweeting on his own personal, you're going to have a much higher traffic of, interactions and shares and retweets. So the trailer release date for the film ended up coming out on September 24th, so you did have a gap between the teaser photo and the actual trailer. So we're just going to take a look at that real quick.
Let's pay sock out. All right, Larry, you're a Jew again. Welcome back. I made a crazy risk, a gamble, and it's about to pay off. So I want the Celtics to cover. I want the Celtics halftime. I want Garnett points and rebounds. What do you know? I don't know. I just know.
Well, I'll tell you what I know. It's the dumbest fucking bet I ever heard of.
I disagree. I disagree, Gary.
What is that?
I started it.
Are you serious?
You're taking my money all over town, placing bets.
I'm having very serious second thoughts.
Are you serious right now?
I know I fucked up.
Howard, where's the money right now?
Howard, got my money? Howard! Is it too late? I'm done. It means nothing. It meant nothing. Please. Give me another shot. You like to win, right? This is no different than that.
Black Jew power, nigga.
This is my fucking way.
You think I'm stupid, Howard? You and your whole fucking family. I heard you resurface your fucking swimming pool. You know how that makes me feel?
Never
You think your life is more important than my
I don't know who said that.
I told you about how things were gonna go. You like the way things are going now?
That's my family. Get the kids out of the house.
You having a good time?
Yes. This is me. This is how I win. JJ, game night. You should be stretching out.
What is he, a coach?
Nah, he's just a fucking crazy ass Jew.
So clearly here we have a much different trailer than what we saw with Frozen 2. A little bit longer in length. Also isn't a teaser. It goes straight for a full-length trailer. You have a great idea of a plot there. You have characters. You have conflict. You have everything you want to know about a film before you see it. So going past that, we're going to look at the reactions. Everything that I found was extremely positive. A lot of people, were shocked seeing Adam Sandler in a much more serious role compared to what he's normally in. A lot of people who are fans of A24 also love everything that they do. So seeing it being very similar to past projects that they've done. Also, everyone loves the Safdie brothers, so seeing that being a film for them was also great. One of my favorite comments here is the ramen noodle ones that says, "Disney may dominate the box office, but A24 will for sure dominate the Oscars." Which is kind of great, since I am looking at Walt Disney Studios and A24, so you can kind of see the difference in the films that they put out as well as how they're marketing and how they create their trailers and edit them. Marketing doesn't stop just at releasing the trailers. It begins at how you edit the trailers and how you want the audience to perceive what you're doing. So they did a really great job with that. So after the trailer, there was no follow-up trailer. There wasn't a second trailer, nothing else to it. There wasn't another post until December. So from July to September, you had a gap where they didn't post anything. And then from September to December, there was kind of a quietness about the movie. And there was nothing new until December 6th, which was when they announced ticket sales and also the date of the film to be released, which was Christmas. There's a few more Instagram posts, but there was also several retweets from both A24 and Uncut Gems. Twitter, kind of memes and interaction with audience members that were going to be, seeing the film, as well as other filmmakers. Guillermo del Toro made some comments and tweets about the film, and the actors from the film also were included in some of those tweets. There was a limited opening weekend for them that happened on December 12th. It was only released in LA and New York in select theaters. That grossed in just the weekend $537 and $242. But total box office for them did $48.4 million. So obviously, much, much smaller margin than Walt Disney Studios, but is actually one of the larger releases for A24, more or less because of their star-studded cast. One of my favorite strategies that A24 uses is to target their niche audience, which is obviously a younger audience. You have a lot more young adults into, more of the millennial age, so memes are really big. It was a great way to create interest in the film. If you have people buzzing about it, things go viral, people talk about the memes and the videos and the pictures they see. They also released quite a few GIFs that could be used on keyboards, which were used a ton in marketing for the film on Twitter. So this is one of them that I found, and then the next page are a few of the other memes that I saw. So that kind of includes, ones about Kevin Garnett, and with him being one of the actors in the film, you got people who had seen the movie during that pre-release weekend and just how they reacted to it. And then the one with Adam Sandler on the bottom is actually Uncut Gems reacting to someone's tweet, which I thought was really funny. Now, aside from that, obviously we talked about the star-studded cast. It's got The Weeknd in there, Travis Scott, Kevin Garnett, Idina Menzel, who's also in Frozen 2. So you have a very large cast list, which also creates, like I said, an audience appeal from different markets. So if you have fans who are interested in The Weeknd and know he's going to be in the movie, obviously they'll go see it. Or the same with basketball fans. If they're a diehard Kevin Garnett fan or, have an interest in that, they'll want to see it just to even see, his kind of, breakout role as an actor. Something that they did, which was not seen for Walt Disney, was a public event. Even though Disney had the Frozen 2 truck, this was much different. This was a pop-up shop. So they conducted this on December 20th through the 22nd, which was just days before the release. It was at the Diamond District in New York City. So before this actually opened, they released kind of on their Twitter a link to this kind of faux website of the jewelry store that's used in the film, which is really clever. It gets fans excited about the characters themselves, and there's also interactions with Adam Sandler, which I will show you guys, which I thought was really funny. So he does like a phone call kind of with a fan, and they actually get to talk to Adam Sandler while he's in character as Howard. So I'll take a look at that real quick.
KMH.
Yeah, looking for some uncut gems.
Hold on, you want Howard?
Yeah.
AMH, what's doing?
Hey, what do you got for me, man? I'm looking for some good shit.
Looking for what do you want from me? I got what you want. Whatever you want, I got it. What do you need?
I'm looking for one of those nice Furbies you got.
I got 20 Furbies left, and you better hurry up. Everyone wants the Furby today.
How much are we talking?
It depends what size you want. I got 3 sizes, and I have 3 different chain sizes as well. Do you want it tight on your neck, or you want to hang it?
Oh, I want to hang it, man.
I got a 24-inch chain, and I have the long.
So you can see that, that's a great way to interact with fans, get them excited about the movie. And at the pop-up event itself, they had on the first floor a free jewelry cleaning station. They also had a replica of the movie props, such as that encrusted Furby and the gem itself, and then they also had shoppable items of fine jewelry. And what I read from online articles is that they ranged all the way up to $1 million in price. So looking at the recap for Uncut Gems, they had a much lower hashtag rate on Instagram, but they also had a little bit more interactions on Twitter, even though retweets wasn't fairly high. Their comment section and the way that they interacted with fans was a little more higher up in interest. YouTube only ranged about 10 million views. And then on the topic of the ratings, obviously critics gave it a great review. It did great in awards. They had several different nominations and awards won, but audience was much lower. And that could be because that they had such a niche audience that with a larger population of audience seeing it, only ones who probably understood the memes or the